for anyone who is not able to make it. But welcome, guys. If this is your first team call, this is not going to be a typical team call, as in it's not a training of me just talking. If I was doing a training tonight, I would look much more presentable. Well, no promises on that, but at least have some good lighting and not be sitting on a beanbag right now in front of a window. But tonight is our team-wide mastermind. So for those of you who are new, I like to always explain things because I don't like people to be like, what? So in our team page, we have a calendar at the very top that basically breaks down every Monday night what's happening. So first Monday of the night or the month is a team training. So that's when it's like team-wide. Everybody hops on. We have a training, either a guest speaker or a training from someone on our team specifically about a certain topic. And then on the other weeks, we kind of mix it up between a live power hour where we're all hopping on and just literally working on our businesses. And, you know, if we have questions or we want to talk about something, we can kind of ask questions to each other. And then we have a new coach call once a month as well for all the new coaches, and just a chance for them to get to know each other. And then on the last week, Monday of the month, we do a team-wide mastermind. So essentially, for those of you who don't know what a mastermind is, it's basically just sharing ideas and collaborating together. So I started doing these about a year and a half ago with my corporate mentor from Beachbody. Once you hit diamond rank in your business, you receive a corporate mentor. And I would say go deeper with them, even at 1 star and above. But they, a lot of times, depending on the area of the country that they manage and, you know, the ranking that they manage, they host masterminds for people within that ranking. And so I started hopping on about a year ago to these masterminds with other coaches. And it was so beneficial for me just to hear like other people's struggles, other people's ideas, things they were trying. At the end of the day, we're kind of all in the same boat. You know, I think sometimes we think that we're alone or that we're on an island or we're just trying to like figure this thing out. Or like I keep saying to everybody, I feel like on separate calls, like we're all throwing noodles at the wall to see which one's going to stick. Right. And so that's something that I was really, sorry, I'm getting an echo from one of the, I'm going to mute all of you guys just really quick so that way that I don't get an echo. And then whenever we start talking, you can unmute yourself. But that's what these calls are about, is I'm going to throw out a topic. We'll first see if anybody has a certain topic they want to cover, just to get people's feedback on. But what I don't want this to be is an Ask Caroline, right? Like there's tons of other people on this call who have other amazing ideas. So I never want this to turn into like me just answering a bunch of questions. I want you guys to collaborate together, and that's really what this is about. So we'll start a certain topic, and if nobody has anything, I have some topics that I would love to touch on for you guys just to collaborate on. But again, I'll have things to throw in there, but I just don't want me to be the only one talking is what I'm getting at. So yeah, so that's kind of how tonight's going to work. And again, like I mentioned, this will be a shorter call because I want to honor your time. So we'll keep it at 30, 45 minutes, depending on, you know, where we're able to get through. So that being said, if anybody has a topic, you can either unmute yourself if you want to bring up a question or a topic. So some examples of things that we'll talk about on our team or on our masterminds with our corporate mentors, it's, you know, we're talking a little bit more about, you know, how do we help our coaches at Success Club, or how do we run better challenge groups? Those are the sorts of things we kind of talk about. But for you guys, it could be something as simple as, you know, how do you get your, you know, challengers to submit their results, or how do you better serve them, or, you know, just, or something about recruiting coaches, or just anything within your business. So I'll open up the floor to anybody who wants to go, and we can all sit here in silence if no one has a topic, and then I'll bring something up.
Hey, Caroline. and everybody. Sorry, I'm working on my yard. Caroline, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot I muted myself. Hello, Rose.
Yeah, I just
How
wanted
are
to say
you?
I am good. I'm working on my yard right here.
Oh, I love it.
It's still daylight. It's still daylight in California. I just want to say I really love the video that you posted the other day about this other group call about their Amy Rada. You posted it for us to watch somewhere.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say I really love that one because like how she shared about her struggle, how long it took her to actually be successful in the business. And I found that extremely motivating, just overall. I really struggle with my challengers for them to be committed in the challenge groups, like once they are in the groups, because most of my people don't come from Instagram, they come from my ministry that I have. And so they get me on they get my attention on so many other levels that on the challenge tracker, they are very silent. And so today, actually, I met with them and we are now going to meet every Monday at noon for those that are from the ministry, for me to get that time with them. But I really struggle with having them to be committed to the challenge tracker. And I asked for ideas another time and I tried all of those, but they are not working so far.
Anybody want to throw anything out there? I know we've talked about this a lot in the Diamond Internship. If you guys want to share any ideas of some of the things we talked about. I do think I'll just preface it by saying, for whatever reason, I think it's harder with people you know. So like I have several girls in my small group who are in our challenge group, and we all talk. We actually have a Marco Polo going that they would check in with each other with their sweaty selfies. But I think it's almost harder for people that you know, like on the challenge tracker app, because it feels a little less personal, but it's appropriate for people who want to be coached, you know what I mean? But for those friends who are like, hey, you're my friend, you know what I mean? Or people in your everyday life, I feel like they tend to not check in there as much because they see you in person. So when they have questions or when they whatever, they're checking in with you in person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Any thoughts from anyone else?
I'm just with you. Those are my thoughts. I feel like it's such a busy time of the year, and a lot of girls that I have are in college or like young marrieds, and so they're so busy. And so it was just funny because when I did the giveaway for the headbands, which finally came in, Caroline, I know you feel me, but they were so responsive and posted so much. I'm like, y'all, this is like a $2 headband. Like, I want you to show up for your like health.
Do you want to share what you did to try to get the engagement up?
Yeah, so I actually have them right here because they came in a package. So I didn't even show them a picture of the headband too, which is hilarious because the first ones that came were ugly, like super ugly. So I had to reorder them. But I just like, hey guys, I'm gonna do a giveaway. For the people that post the most, I'll send you a free headband. Well, then everybody comes to life. So I ordered a bunch. So here they are.
Oh, those are so cute. I love them.
They literally look the same as your little pink ones because they have this in the back too. But
they're super cute. I love them.
Always excited. But I loved, Erin, the thing that you made for every week. Like, shout out those 3 or 4 people. Like,
yeah, Erin, can you explain that?
Because I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, I loved that too.
So I created just a little graphic on Canva. I haven't tried it out yet, so I don't know if it's going to work. But in my May boot camp, every Friday, I'm going to have a Friday shout out, and I'm just going to recognize 4 people from that week. And I don't even remember what they are, but one is like, we're going to do like a little point contest type thing. So whoever's leading with points, whoever consistent queen, I think was one of them. So whoever's being really consistent with their workouts and their nutrition, what was my Sista one? Sweet Sista.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get away with saying Sista.
Oh, there it is.
I'm showing you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I'm just gonna fill those in with 4 people that I think need to be recognized.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, me too. How did you create that?
It's just a Canva layout, a social media layout that I just created.
Yeah, if you canva.com, CANVA, graphic design for dummies. That's basically how I explain it. It's literally the most amazing thing ever. But that's how I create all my graphics and stuff. People think that I pay someone to do it. I'm like, no, I do all those on Canva. So, but I love that because, you know, that's something I want to start doing in our team page too. I'm going to create a leaderboard for our team page and have like top contributors and stuff like that. Just to shout out other people, because sometimes it's like the only shout outs we have are like advancing a rank or, you know, Success Club, which are both important, but it's fun to also recognize people who are just like encouraging other people on the page or, you know, different things like that. So I think that it's important in a team, like in the challenge group. I think it would really help, just because otherwise people can kind of be crickets. So it's like you kind of, because the thing is we don't want to be pushing people, right? We want to be pulling people. We want to pull the good stuff out of them, and not just always be pushing them to show up more. So it's like, how can we get more creative and encouraging so that way they want to show up? Another thing that I do think helps for people who have people who don't live around them is doing like a Zoom, like weekly or like every other week check-in. Just because that way, I mean, even if they don't hop on, at least they know that like you're trying to show up and serve them, you know? So, but I hate to say this, Courtney and Aaron and I were just talking about this. And it's something that I'm trying to navigate how I'm going to address it with my next month's boot camp. Maybe it's even like a video or something. But I just think that like it's hard to navigate tough love in faith and fitness. And it's hard to navigate, like people just expect, we live in this society that's so instant gratification driven that people want to buy the challenge pack and they just get the results. Like a lot of people don't want to put in the work. They want to think that like, oh, I paid my money, so I should be skinny tomorrow, you know? Like they don't want to put in the work. Like, okay, you bought your challenge pack, but guess what? Our job as coaches just started. This isn't like anything else out there. This isn't like Beauty Counter or Mary Kay or, you know, doTERRA or any of those, because with those, their relationship with the customer starts from the moment they meet them and they try to get them to buy whatever it is. But for us, our relationship with the customer starts from the moment that they make that purchase, because all of a sudden they're our customer and our job is to now help them get results, you know? So we just have to get really creative about how we're going to do that.
I think one thing that I saw that Patrice did recently that I think I'm going to do, because I still have few enough girls to where I'll text them every week with my check-in. She just had like a Zoom call, I think, where she just spent some time in prayer, like with them, because just of heaviness and discouragement, whatever. And I'm kind of feeling that. So I don't know if that's going to look like a Zoom call or a video that I send them. I don't really know what'll work best, but you know, just like across the board, my girls are like, oh, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm this, that. And I'm like, I get it. Trust me. Like, I get up early, like, I'm busy too. Like, I understand. And just like you were saying, pulling the good stuff out of them, not being pushy, but just saying, like, remember why you did this. Like, it's not going to be easy. That's when growth happens. That's when you find that you need the Lord in this. Like, you can't do this on your own. But that is hard.
How do you create that Zoom call link? Like,
it's free. You can sign up and you can just make a link. It's free for up to 30 minutes. I pay like $15 a month or something for like a premium account.
Okay.
But you can do the free version and have like 30-minute calls.
Yeah.
I did the free one for a really long time. I would even like, if we hit the 30-minute mark, I'd be like, okay, we're all going to have to hop off and hop back on. Hashtag cheap. All right. Anybody else got anything? Valerie, you got anything? I see your pretty face over there. I'm like, I feel like you were about to ask something. So I was like, maybe she has something.
I was just trying to catch my breath because I had to run to the kitchen to take that open.
Oh, that's funny. Well, if you don't have anything.
No, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of struggling in all aspects.
It's Monday after a holiday too, which after you've had like a 3-day weekend or even just a crazy weekend, it's like trying to get back on everything and on Monday morning can be like, oh man. But I will tell you, like, I mean, I know I say this all the time, but just keep being consistent, keep showing up. I mean, people are watching, and it's, you just got to continue to think like, okay, like, I mean, I literally sat down today. I had like a 15 or 20-minute window and I was literally just like, I literally was like, okay, this is going to be my brainstorm ideas time because, again, like you just constantly have to be trying new things. And it's like, I even found myself today going back to like a podcast that I haven't listened to in like 3 years. And I did one of her Instagram trainings today and was like, okay, like I learned so many new things about Instagram today, which I'll be sharing in our team page this week. But just updates because things are constantly changing. And all the things she said, I was like, didn't know any of this, you know what I mean? So I'm like, gonna implement that now on my Instagram, So just constantly trying to learn and figure things out, So, but I will say this, now is the time that people are starting to think about like, okay, winter is coming to an end. It's now warming up. Swimsuit season's coming. Like, I know people hate that because they're like, oh, but we should want to be healthy all the time. And yes, I agree. But like, that's just not how most people are, especially if they live up north or somewhere where it's been snowing all winter and they're just chilling inside their house. So, just sticking with it and giving your best and, asking the Lord for creative ideas and, ways of doing things. So let's talk about what you guys have planned for challenge groups coming up, whether it's, later this week or in May. Does anybody have anything planned out for what they're going to be doing in May? Nobody has anything planned for May yet? Because it's like almost May.
I'm going to do a group on the portion fix control containers, like the new program that
cool.
came out.
Yeah.
And I have 2 girls signed up, and I have 4 more on the line, but they haven't signed up yet. So I'm hoping they'll sign up. And yeah, so I called it Freedom and Balanced Eating.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you take the course or did you?
I'm taking it right now. I'm taking the certification. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll be done with it. I will be done with it by the beginning of May. And that's my plan.
How are you liking it?
I really love it. I have been on those containers anyway since I started in August. And I really loved it. I have never done TB Mindset. We talked about this with Courtney before, and she's like, oh no, I'm the older TB Mindset, but I have never done that. So I'm really loving the containers. And I have somebody who is doing them right now, like not part of, like not a challenger, and he has had great results with it. So
that's awesome.
I'm really excited for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I really hope the rest signs up. I just hope the rest signs up.
If you have questions about running a group with that, Erin is running a group right now. And Erin
has had questions. I don't even know I have them.
Yeah. Erin has had really a lot of success even in her own weight loss journey with it. Erin, do you want to share a little bit about just like the fix program in general, like how, like the success you've seen in your own journey and then with others?
So I have been using the containers for like almost 18 months now, and I'm down almost 35 pounds. And I was describing it to one of my friends the other day that I like that it's structured and that I do have a plan and I have something that I follow, but it's flexible enough that I don't feel like angry that I'm on this really strict plan and I can't have all my favorite foods. So that's why I like it. And I really think that like most people can benefit from it. I did do the 2B mindset too when it came out. I just have found more freedom in the structure. And so that's what I'm teaching my girls now. I've got 4 or 5 ladies that are going through it with me right now. And it's been really fun because 2 of them are actually ladies from my church. So I get to see them in person and we get to talk about it at church, which is fun. But they really like it too. They think it's really easy to incorporate into like family meals. So they like that it's not, hard to feed their kids what they're eating. They've really enjoyed it. And it's been good. Rose, when you run your group, I would highly encourage you to use the challenge tracker. What's it called, Caroline?
The nutrition
The
the
challenge
guide
group
that
guide.
Beachbody gives us in our back office. It's really, really great. Yeah. Yep. The challenge group guide in the back office. I'm using that as my script for the whole month. I'm not doing any of my own like content or anything because it's really good and it has a ton of good information. So I would recommend using it.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've actually, like, it's funny that you said that, Erin, because I've been trying to navigate this all. I don't know why I'm really saying this out loud right now, but I did the 2B Mindset certification, and I'm almost finding it like a little more restrictive than the container system. So I'm trying to navigate, like, do I want to do the container system? But now I feel kind of like, I don't want to say fake. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because some people, like the girls who are in my group, love the 2B Mindset and they're getting amazing results from it. But I'm kind of over here like struggling to stay on course with it because of not being able to have carbs at night. It's just like it's super strict about when you eat certain things. And that's what I'm struggling with, So it's interesting that you said that because I'm like, maybe I'm more that person who has to have more structure to actually have freedom. You know what I'm saying? I think Erin froze. But
Yes, I was nodding. I already muted myself. Yes, no, that makes a lot of sense.
It's just interesting how everyone's different,
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like the one person that is going through it was on an eating disorder. And for that person, going through this portion control containers with the structure really helped the person to get back on a balanced intake. But I have not done DV3 mindset, so I can't talk to you about that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you guys do a program that's based on like the nutrition, do you incorporate exercise in it? Like, do they just pick a program or do you pick a certain program that you work through together?
So for 2B Mindset is very like nutrition is extra credit. So that group I'm running is only nutrition because I have gotten on the phone with girls. Like I had a lady, she's like my rock star challenger and I just love her. And we got on the phone and she was literally in tears. Like she was bawling and she was like, she basically was just like, I hate working out. And she's like, I'm not losing weight. I'm spending all this time working out and I absolutely hate it. Like she's like, literally hate it with everything in me. And she, which is hard for me to understand because I'm like, I love it, you know? But she's like, you know, it's like for her when she's doing so much, it's like she doesn't have enough time right now to focus on two things at one time. Like has a hard time doing nutrition and working out. You know what I mean? So for her, I was like, let's forget the working out, like just go on walks when you can. Forget the working out. Let's just focus on nutrition. And when the time comes for you to focus on working or to incorporate working out, that's cool. But TB Mindset's very much about like, you don't have to work out to be successful with this. So it's kind of along the lines of like a Weight Watchers in that sense. But she's already down like 12 pounds and she's only been doing it for 4 weeks. So for someone like her, and she's not like she's huge or anything. So it's not like, but like for someone like her that like having it just be nutrition only is really good. So I don't know how because it's obviously different with Ultimate Portion Fix because she also does 21 Day Fix workouts and 21 Day Fix Extreme. So I don't know how those groups, like, I'd have to look at the challenge group guide because I haven't gone through it, so I don't really know. But I know for TB Mindset, it's literally nutrition only. So what I've been doing is like a challenge group every month for fitness and then a nutrition group.
So when you're posting like on social media or whatever, and let's say you're doing, so like for May, I'm going to start a Lift 4. Well, that's my plan. I don't have anybody signed up to do it, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's 8 weeks. But then in June, if I start another one, would I just continue to do the Lift 4 workouts and then whatever my challengers would be doing for June, I just kind of guide them? I don't have to necessarily be doing it with them. Is that kind of what you do?
Yeah. And so for that, like, obviously it's kind of hard because, so I'm kind of at the point now where I only do like challenge groups that are specific to a workout program when it's the launch of a new program. So like, let's say when Morning Meltdown comes out this summer, which I don't know the exact date on that, but when it comes out, I'll do a group around Morning Meltdown. So anybody who wants to do it can do it with me. And I'll probably make it team wide. So it'll be like it'll be a really big challenge group. And that's what we did for Transform 20, because even if you have a customer who's on Beachbody On Demand, they still have to pay to get that early access. And so it'll be like an early access of Morning Meltdown. Otherwise, I just do generic like faith and fitness boot camps. And what I do is anybody who wants to be a part of what I'm doing, they have to go through the 30-day faith and fitness boot camp first, and then they get put into the virtual gym. And the virtual gym's content is changing every single month. Like I have a theme every month. So this month is like spring cleaning. And, you know, one month we might all do I might say, hey, who wants to do this program with me? If there's people in there who don't want to do that particular program, that's fine. So I will do things like that in there. But the only reason I like to do it like that is just because I want to have a new challenge group start every month. And also, like, different people need different things. If I have a woman come to me who's like never worked out before, which I've had several of those, like for them, you know, Lift 4 would be super intense. You know what I mean? So they might need to start with like, you know, I don't know, like PIO, or PIO might even be too hard. Like maybe if they need something short, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had girls who are in good shape, but maybe they're in a season of life where they need something short and sweet. So it's like, you know, 20-minute workout, Transform 20, that's perfect for them. Or, you know, some people love Tony Horton and they want to do a Tony Horton workout. So, I mean, there's just like so many different kinds of people with different goals and even different body types. So I try to like make that group just more generic. It's not bad that you're doing a Lift 4 group at all. Like I love Lift 4. But that's just kind of what I have found works best for me in order to like make sure that women are doing a workout that they're going to love. Cause I don't want people to like start something and then hate it. And then it's like, they feel like they have to do that program. You know what I'm saying?
I can speak to that too a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were talking about. So this month I'm doing the 30-day thing because I found that even though I was running like T20 groups or whatever, a lot of girls would try T20 and get discouraged because it is hard. Like if anybody's done T20 in here, like that's a hard program. And especially like if you're competitive natured, like I definitely am, you want to go as fast as Shanti. Like you can say all you want, like pace yourself, but a lot of girls I talk to aren't going to do that. And so I would end up saying, well, hey, try Pio or try this. And so I don't want them to feel left out if I'm posting about T20, you know? And so that way both groups are a mixed bag to where it's like I'm speaking more towards your general mindset. Because at the end of the day, like they're not going to do T20 forever. And so I feel like you can give them more beneficial, I don't know. But I've done specific ones too, and it's been great. But I'm excited to go to the general 30-day one. Saves time too.
Yeah. And I think too, like my thing is like I kind of have started to learn every month, because this is only my second month doing like a 30-day faith and fitness boot camp. But I feel like it teaches this people, because my goal is not for someone to know everything about nutrition or everything about fitness when they go through that 30-day boot camp. My goal is that they commit, and that they're learning the basics of like, why is fitness important? How do I connect my faith and my fitness? And for most people who go through my boot camps, that's the biggest aha that they have, is that they start being consistent in their workouts. And the biggest thing they see is like, wow, I never saw how my faith and my fitness connected. And I feel like that's the foundation for then being like, okay, now you're like set to soar. You know what I mean?
So Caroline, when you have those faith and fitness boot camps, how much, like, what else do you post other than your I guess your work on check-ins? Because I'm asking because I like when I do my challenge groups, I have every morning they get a post from me, and I have different topics. However, because my engagement has been low, I have been wondering if I'm posting too much, if I post every morning something on the groups. So if you do the faith and fitness boot camps and you teach them about the connection between faith and fitness, what do those posts look like? Does my question make sense?
Yeah, I post every morning. And I mean, like sometimes people don't comment on them at all, you know what I mean? And that's fine. But they're still checking in throughout the day with their sweaty selfies. And that to me, like they're doing their workouts, they're showing up, like, and they probably are reading it. They just maybe aren't liking it or maybe not commenting on it. So I don't really I don't know. But I do post every day. So and then on Saturdays I do a check-in where they like check in with like, how many workouts did you get in this week? How are you feeling? Just like basically asking them questions about where they're at with everything. But most mornings my post is more faith focused. And then I think it's a couple days a week. I have so on Saturdays I have a check-in. So the Saturday check-in is like, it asks them like, how many workouts did you get in this week? On a scale of 1 to 10, how was your nutrition? What's one non-skill victory that you had this week? What are you currently struggling with? I just lost it. So those kind of things. And then all the other posts, like basically in the morning, I do a post that's more like faith focused. And then in the evening or like late afternoon, I do a post that's more like, you know, something else. So sometimes it's like nutrition, sometimes it's like motivational. It might be specific about Shakeology or Energize or something like that. So the morning is always it's kind of like a devotional, I guess you'd say, in the mornings. And then the afternoon one might be a little bit different. But I don't post, what I'm trying to say is I don't post twice a day every day. I just do it like a couple times a week. I'll post twice a week, a day, but I'm posting every day otherwise. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in my virtual gym, I only post 3 days a week. And then I do a Saturday check-in. So just because I feel like when it's ongoing, like 30 days, like you want to try to really be showing up in your group, you know, but once it's like ongoing, people tend to like just jump in, check in with their sweaty selfie, and they don't really read a whole lot. Some people do, but some people don't. So I just have found that having 3 a week in there is like kind of makes perfect. It's like really good. And it's not too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So then yeah. I was wondering if I was doing too much because I didn't get engagement, but I'm doing the same. So I'm just gonna keep doing.
And I mean, be honest with people. Like, I mean, I have in the past, like, if something felt like it wasn't going very well, I started messaging people and was like, hey, girl, I just wanted to check in. I haven't really seen you showing up in the group. Like, you know, obviously, in order for you to get the most out of this, like, I want to make sure that you're taken care of. Is there anything I can do to help? And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, yeah, like, sorry, I've been checking. I just didn't like the post or I didn't comment on the post or something like that. And so then you can just say, oh, it's totally fine. But then most of the time, because you said something about it, they start showing up. They'll like start being in the group more. So I think just navigating it like that and figuring out like, you know, how much time is a good amount of time, you know?
Okay.
So, and again, everyone's going to be different in this too. You know, I think like I've had some groups that are so engaged. Like I'm just talking like rock stars. And then I have groups where it's like some people are, some people aren't. And then I have groups where like everyone's crickets, you know? And so you just have to keep going because it's just, I don't know, different groups are different. I have found, I will say the best challenge group I ever ran, which I have no idea to this day why, but was my 80-day obsession group. So last January, that was literally the most engaged challenge group I've ever had. Like I had so many women jump in. And, you know, we all rallied around that new program and we had like a Zoom kickoff call. And I mean, I think there was like 30 women on this call. Like it was crazy. Like every time I host calls now, it's like 3 people hop on and I'm like, ugh, seriously. So I don't know why, but what I did in that group was I paired people up with each other and they had to hold each other accountable. I called them purpose partners. So that was really awesome just because there were so many people. But I do think that, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not rallying around the Ultimate Portion Fix a little bit more. But obviously it hasn't fully launched yet. So I think there's still room to do that, especially with the 21-day fix coming out and 21-day fix extreme. So, you know, with Morning Meltdown coming out, like make sure that's on your calendar. As soon as the date comes out, get it on your calendar. Even if you don't want to do the workouts, like you're going to have to, but even if you don't want to, put it on your calendar and be like, I'm going to commit, because I will say the things that move my business forward the most are typically new launches of new like workouts, because Beachbody puts so much marketing around them that most of the time people have heard about them and then they want to try them. And so it gives your business like just fresh blood and, you know, like, I don't know, just a little like excitement when you do a new program and you're all doing it together, you know? So, all right, guys. Well, I want to honor y'all's time, like I said, and I told y'all that we were going to be done at a certain time. So, but does anybody have anything else that they wanted to get anyone's thoughts on or anything like that before we wrap up? Awesome. Well, let me pray for you guys really quick, and then we will snap a picture, and then we can hop off. Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much for these incredible women, God. Thank you for just bringing them here tonight, God. And just thank you for the commitment that they have, first and foremost, to you, God, but secondly, to these women, and just helping them start their fitness journey, ultimately to show them that Christ is, and you are, where freedom is ultimately found, God, and true fulfillment and satisfaction. And so, God, I'm just so thankful to serve alongside of them. God, I just want to pray over the women on this call tonight who are feeling discouraged or beaten down, Lord. God, I pray that you would just encourage their hearts this week, God, whether that's bringing in a new customer or, you know, some little ounce of encouragement from someone else, Lord. It can be so discouraging at times, Lord, especially when we're working in something like health and fitness, God. It's it's weird territory and it's a dark industry, and there's so many people doing it wrong, God. But Lord, I pray that you would help us to be a light. I pray that you would help us to be consistent. I pray that you would help us to have discipline, God. Lord, to not give up when things get hard, because on the other side of hard and rough is typically something really beautiful. And so, God, I pray that you would just give us a fresh commitment to this business. And Lord, just remind us of our why that's so much bigger than us, Lord. It's about really ultimately pointing people and women to you, Lord. And so we just love you so much, God. I pray that this week you would multiply our efforts, Lord, multiply our time that we put into this business, God, and multiply the results, God. I pray that you would show up in big, big ways, God. Bring new people into these women's lives, God. Help them be confident in talking with women. Help them to put the time into this business, Lord. Help them to work with grit, God, and grace-driven effort, God, to show up and give their absolute best to their challengers and their coaches and the new people they meet along the way, God. I just love you so much, and I thank you so much for them and the gift that they are. And it's in your precious name we pray. Amen. All right, let's snap a photo really quick. Thank you guys all for being on. I feel like there's tons of new faces, and it makes it so much fun just to see you guys on. We've got Peyton and Shay on tonight, who are both brand new coaches.
And Hannah.
And Hannah. Hi, Hannah. Sorry, I was like looking around the thing. I'm like, Hannah. And you're like right in the middle. So I like didn't see you right immediately.
Great.
But welcome, Hannah. Any other new coaches that I missed? I don't think so. But thank you guys so much for being on. And it's just such a pleasure to get to work with you guys. I'm sure you new coaches are like, I have no idea all this stuff, what they're talking about. But just being on, just make a plan to show up every week, because these will help you and they will encourage you, and they'll help you get to know the other ladies on the team too. So, yeah. But let's snap a photo really quick. I want to get a picture of all your beautiful faces. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Was Erin smiling is the real question. Okay, let's do it again because she's smiling now. Her internet is so delayed. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Well, that'll just have to do. Erin's looking down, but at least she was smiling. Her internet's always slow, so we joke about how every time I say smile, she doesn't actually smile for a few extra seconds. So, all right, guys. Well, y'all have an amazing night. Thanks again for being on. Keep at it. You got it. Like, seriously, if you need a cheerleader, I am in your corner. I know you guys can do this, so don't give up. Love you guys.
Love you.